Anyway, very good afternoon. So, I just mentioned some technical issues. We have no power. So, we'll manage with our traditional method of teaching. Okay? You'll be missing some images. Now, the beauty of PPT is you get to learn through images. I'll do my best. I can't show you images, but we'll see how best we can take this class forward. Okay? Two classes we have already done relating to a specific remedy, and the remedy is Argentum. Yes, very good, Argentum Nitricum. And today we'll be mainly focusing on the remaining part of Argentum. So when I say the remaining part, what is that part we have already covered in Argentum? We have covered mind, yes. We have covered characteristics, sphere of action, ailments from, and we also spoke about the physical appearance. We spoke about thermals and what is the characteristics, correct, yes. So what is left over? Particulars. Unfortunately, for a material student, the most boring part of materia medica is particulars. And today it's more unfortunate because there is no images, there is no PPT. Okay? So it's definitely a challenge. And what is the biggest challenge? What is the biggest challenge? Post-lunch class. Post-lunch class. Correct? Yeah. Post-lunch class, particular symptoms, no power. Okay? No fan. You are all boiling inside. Yeah, there are a lot of challenges. Against all this, we'll try our best and make this class fruitful. Okay? See, when I say particular symptoms, why do I say particular symptoms to be a boring symptom? To be a boring part of material. You never felt it is boring? I had one teacher of mine, who would tell, every remedy has symptoms from head to toe. Any remedy has symptoms from head to toe. And that would become a little difficult to understand, and difficult for the teacher to teach. Okay? So, how do we make particulars interesting is a question. How do we make it interesting? Without all these things, no PPT, don't tell me, sir, get power. Okay, I'm not authorized to get power now. Without power, what best we can do? How do we make it interesting? Huh? Okay, what images are not there? Your friend is telling, you take us to an imaginary world. Okay, and you should also bring us back. If you are there, then it will become very difficult. Okay, very good. So, you give something imaginary so that we are all there with you, good, possible, and then somebody rightly said something. Interact, beautiful, good. Yes, nice word. Interact, you keep us engaged with imagination. One more very important thing is, also bring in some cases if possible. We'll see what best we can do. Say the minimum I can do is we can keep this interactive. And wherever I have used Argentum in my practice, for particular complaints I will try to share. Okay? So when you talk of particular symptoms, now how do you study particular symptoms? How do you learn particular symptoms? Or I'll make it more easy. What is the information that is required to understand particular symptoms in a better way? Very good. Your CR starts with a bang, he says. Okay, you need to be loud, sphere of action. Okay. You had this in your mind? Yeah, very good. Sometimes students do not have, we imagine and we start writing. Okay, good. Luckily your CR had it right. See, now very important is to understand particular symptoms, you need to know the sphere of action. Very good, good. Good start. Can somebody take it ahead? Only sphere of action is sufficient to understand. Very good. The next thing that rightly comes up here is, you should know the pathogenesis. Beautiful, good. Pathogenesis. Then, what else? Very good. Your friend is also talking of another very important aspect, ailments from. Good, beautiful. Then, Huh? Process. Causation. Yeah, causation is ailments from. Good. Ailments from means causation. Good. She is helping me telling. Ailments also means causation. Good. Very good. Chalo. See, teacher should always take things in a very positive note. Okay, good. Very good. Ailments, causation. Yes. Anything else? Very good. Modalities. It will come here. Modalities. Good. There's something in between you are listening. What is it? Characteristic symptoms. Good. Beautiful. So when you start understanding a particular symptom through a pattern, through a methodology, then particular symptoms will not become boring. Okay? So sphere of action, pathogenesis, ailments from characteristic symptoms, modalities, and one last and very important thing you should know is one last thing. Huh? I mean, I'm very happy. I appreciate, I congratulate, you have got everything right and that in a sequence. Thanks to SCR, I started with the right thing. Okay. Good. So we'll continue blackboard or we'll get back to both. I mean, as you wish, PPT is also ready. Or I'll do this part, we'll finish and then we'll get back to the PPT. Okay? If you don't mind, please, your CR will do the necessary thing required. We'll get back to this. What is that one last thing you feel you should remember? More than constitution. More than miasms. See, you are a second year student. Huh? Remedy relationship. Okay, good. It will all come late. Somebody here. Mentors, okay, see, we are talking of particulars. We are talking of particulars. So, what do you feel is important? See, one very important thing is knowledge of your allied senses. Like knowledge of pathology, knowledge of forensic. Okay, that will help you in understanding the materia medica better. Okay? So, these things you always keep it in your mind. Any polyclast remedy which has particular symptoms, you can always think of this. Okay? You can always think of this. Right? So you should always think of, you have covered. So, see the same thing I was just trying to tell you here. Oh, we are coming from. Yeah, one second. So I will get back. What I was trying to tell you is, see, to understand the particular symptoms, you need to know the sphere of action, pathogenesis, ailments from PQRS, and then of course the knowledge of anatomy, knowledge of physiology, and as a second year student, knowledge of pathology. If you know all these things, then this is equally interesting. Okay. Now the challenge is, before I take up the particular symptoms, it's very important you know all these things in Argentum. Okay. So quickly, where do you see Argentum acting? Glands, good. Now this is the problem. Huh? Mucous membrane, very good. CNS, yes. Huh? Eyes, cartilages, good. Cartilages, yes, agreed. And what do you think Argentum does acting on all these things? Argentum acting on mucous membrane, good. Inflammation, ulceration, very good. Nice word, keyword, ulcers. And acting on the cartilage, again it can cause ulceration. Acting on CNS, okay, very good, conversion. I mean, there are a lot of things. It can cause imbalance, ataxia, okay, and it can cause convulsions, paralysis. Mucous membrane, where exactly you see Argentum acting? Main axon, GA. Good, main axon, GA. Though you see this acting on the eyes, the ears, and the other parts, specifically you see Argentum acting on the GA. Okay. Ailments from We have discussed this. Anxiety, good. Great stress, anxiety, anticipation, fear. Those were the emotional ailments. What were the physical ailments? You have told this in the last class. Cold, exposure to cold or eating cold, ice creams. Sugar, good. Sugar, tobacco, very good. Sexual excess. Okay, these are all the ailments. And you saw a lot of pictures. We'll discuss that. And we are applying the knowledge of physiopathology so that we understand particulars better. Okay? So we'll quickly start with head symptoms of Argentum. Now, as a second year student, what do you feel could be the probable symptoms that can come under head of Argentum? Think and answer. Don't be in a hurry. Please keep this in your mind, and luckily it is there on the blackboard also. Okay, so just think what could be the probable things that can come up in Argentum. Head. Somebody is scratching. Why somebody is scratching? Okay. Can you see itching in Argentum? No. Good. Somebody says quickly no. So what is it that you can see in Argentum? Okay. Prem says headache. Good. No. You say headache. Okay, good. He also completes the statement. He says headache due to stress. You all agree with it? Okay. So headache which is mainly because of exertion, stress. Mental exertion. Okay, good. So where did this come from? This is coming from ailments from. Don't tell me all the ailments of Argentum. It is your smartness to see what are those ailments which can bring in head complaints. So stress can bring in head complaints. Anxiety, anticipation can bring in head complaints. Okay. Cold can bring in head complaints. Okay. So what do you see in head? One is headache. And the second very important thing is Argentum is also a very good remedy acting on the GI. So you have neurological headaches. One, stress headaches. Second headaches which is associated with GIT. What is it called? I mean, many of you have. When you have headache, you start vomiting. When you don't eat food on time, you land up with a headache and you start vomiting. Half headaches. What is this called? Very good. Migraine. So Argentum, many of you might be suffering. Argentum can be a very good remedy for migraine. Migraine when the left half is affected. It is a left-sided remedy. Okay. When the left half of your head is affected, migraine, okay, you can think of Argentum. So two very important things you have here, mental stress and dancing, bringing on headache. Okay. And what is the sensation you have in Argentum? See, they feel, an Argentum patient when he has headache, he feels that his skull bones are getting separated. Go back to the knowledge of anatomy. You know, skull is fusion of different bones. So Argentum feels that the skull is getting separated. And one more very important sensation he might also have is as if head is getting enlarged. As if head is getting enlarged. So location, sensation, ailments and headache better by pressure. Here the typical pressure that you are seeing here is bandaging. See, pressure could be like, for example, many times we have our parents, or our partner, our kids, many times, when they have pain, we request them, okay, to press, daughter or son or wife, somebody pressing the dad's head, he's got headache, right? So that is pressure. In Argentum, it is typically bandage. Many times you have people, they tie something tight with headache and they feel better. So Argentum is one remedy which feels better by tight bandage. Okay? Aggravation, amelioration and headache or what else you can have in Argentum head is they can also have vertigo. Vertigo with buzzing in ears. There is buzzing sound in ears. Okay? And in third year you will understand this combination of noise and vertigo, we call it as a disease, and that disease is Meniere's disease. meanies. Okay? So vertigo with buzzing in ears, noises in ears, and headache ends in vomiting. I told you Argentum can be a very good remedy for migraine, gastric headaches. So headache ends in vomiting. Headache ends in vomiting. And again, what is it that you can also have in Argentum is mentally stressed. A guy who overthinks, so they can have a lot of hair fall, okay, hair issues. So this is what you will be having under head of Argentum. So head quickly, what did we say? We saw headache. Headache could be of two types in Argentum. One is stress headache, which we also call it as neurological headaches, and the other, which is coming from the gastric origin, we call it as migraine. And the migraine in Argentum is mainly left side. Clear? Okay? What brings on headache? Apart from whatever you have told, one extra thing I have added there is dancing. Good, dancing. Okay. Now, I gave you an example of head. Now, to make it more interactive, please try to solve what could happen or what could be the probable symptoms that can come up in Argentum eyes. You have this, keep this in your mind, and start slowly and steadily, like sphere of action. Where do you see Argentum acting? Mucous membrane of the eye. Fine? So what is it causing? It can cause one word, pathology. It can cause inflammation. One more word of pathology is it can also cause ulceration. So what is it that is getting inflamed in eye? Conjunctiva. Okay? Now going back to the characteristic symptoms, what is the characteristic conjunctivitis you have in Argentum? Very good, beautiful, good. Yes, you have told meat. I mean, it shows, What is very important, when I told you the characteristic symptoms of Argentum, the conjunctiva will be red like raw meat, raw beef, okay? So conjunctiva resembles like raw beef, okay? And then you also have, what is this? See, go back to the anatomy. Simple, what is this that we are looking at? No, what is this? Simple. Anatomy. Eyelid is inflamed. And it is inflamed and it is filled with what? What do you see here? Pus. Okay, pus. So there is something called as purulent blepharitis. Now what is blepharitis? Blepharitis is inflammation of the eyelids. Good. So the eyelid is getting inflamed and it is filled with pus. Violent purulent ophthalmia. Not only the eyelid, the entire eye can go into inflammation. Okay? Blepharitis, ophthalmia, conjunctivitis are few inflammations that is possible in Argentum Nitricum. Am I clear? Any confusion? Luckily power came, luckily the images are back, PPT is back. Okay, please focus, understand. It's a very simple methodology. And if we can understand this, material will become very easy. You need not buy a material medical. You have to only understand material medical. So, normal eye, the conjunctiva getting inflamed, the entire eye getting inflamed. What else can you expect in Argentum? Okay, very good. Your friend has a valid point. What is she trying to tell you is pupils get dilated. When do you see pupils getting dilated in Argentum? Before convulsions. Good thought. I did not have it here right now, but anyway, good thought. I am happy. Anything else you can think of? Very good. Because of conjunctivitis, yes, agreed. You are watering of eye, you are burning, you are pain. Character of pain in Argentum. Very good word, that splinter like pain. Good. That's something as if it has been pricking, that kind of a pain. Splinter like of pain. Good. Very good. Anything else? We spoke of inflammation. What is the other thing that can happen is ulceration. So corneal ulcers. The cornea going into ulcers. So this is what you have next. corneal ulcers is a deep acting remedy. Okay, corneal ulcers. Okay, and then this is very important. Must be when you start going to obstetric postings. I don't know if they still use. When we used to go way back in 92, 93, for the newborns, they used to use Argentum Nitricum drops. The idea of they using Argentum Nitricum drops was to prevent eye infections. Okay? I don't know if it is still there. If they still use, I am not very sure. But what I want you to understand is, this is not the entire picture, but you can see a small nose here and an eye. Inflammation of the eye immediately after delivery. Okay? So there is a term which you will be learning in future, ophthalmia happening in infants, newborns. So there is a term called as ophthalmia neonatum. What is it? Ophthalmia neonatum. Argentum is a very good remedy. Done? So ophthalmia neonatum, corneal ulcers, and what is this? Okay, I put it under eye. Very good. Eye strain. Eye strain. So if eyes have to go into strain, what is the part that is getting affected? Which is the part? Muscles of the eye. The muscles of the eye get strained. Okay? From eye strain. Then, like for example, olden days they were using needle sieving. Now we all have machines. Fine? Tailoring machines. Olden days, so they used to put pressure and the eye muscles would get strained. So very good remedy for eye strain. Eye strain because of sieving. A better remedy? Very good. Who was that? Ruta. Good. Beautiful. Good. Good. I appreciate. I wanted Ruta. Good. Ruta is also a remedy you should remember. Good. Ruta. Now what is this? Photophobia. What is this? Photophobia. So photophobia, aggravation warm room. When they are in a warm room and they are very sensitive to light. Photophobia. So these are few things which are possible in Argentum Nitricum. Okay? So you have a lot of symptoms mentioned under Argentum Nitricum, and it is very important you understand. One last thing I have for you, taken again from Google Images. What do you see here? See, you saw this normal eye here. Okay, normal anatomy. Now what I am trying to tell you is we are looking at the abnormal things here. We are looking at the abnormal things here. Like for example, from normal the deviation, inflammation, eye, conjunctiva, okay, ulcerations, ophthalmic neonatum, eye strain, photophobia, a lot of abnormal things. And what you also see here is, what do you see here? What do you see here from the image? I don't want you to give the term. I don't want you to give the term, but what do you see there? Very good. Your friend beautifully says an action. See, there is an extra layer. There is an extra layer of growth covering the cornea. This is what we call it as pterygium. Must be, if ophthalm was started, ophthalmology, you would have appreciated this better. But I have given you a condition, and please remember pterygium. You will have growth either from the outer canthai or from the inner canthai. Pterygium. Okay? Argentum has pterygium. Now what is this? What is this? Huh? What is this? Okay. See, to confuse you, I put it under eyes. Eyes, we are done with this. This is the next heading. How does it look? Yeah, how does it look? The face of Argentum. They look very good. They look prematurely old. Premature old looking. Premature old looking. Okay? And pterygium. So premature old looking. Throat symptoms of Argentum. Very good. It's a glandular remedy, so you can and there can be a splinter-like sensation. When the Argentum person is swallowing, he feels something is stuck. Okay? So sensation of splinter in throat on swallowing, Argentum. Okay? Yeah, before I take up the GIT, few important points we discussed. One is related to head, the second was related to the eyes. Any quick questions? All of it? And then we also looked at the face. Throat, I spoke of one very important symptom, sensation of splinter on swallowing, So going ahead, what you also have is a very important aspect of Argentum, and that is GIT, Gastrointestinal Tract. From here. Again, I feel you can contribute a lot. Very good inflammation, ulceration. So just see where all inflammation is possible, where all ulceration is possible. You can just start adding. Now, from where you get this knowledge? From the knowledge of pathology. Okay. So, in systemic pathology, when your teachers, they start teaching you about peptic ulcer, or when they start telling you about ulcerative colitis, you will appreciate Argentum better. Okay? So for time being, I want you to focus here. What brings on gastric complaints in Argentum? Ailments or stress, very good. You can feel free to use the word stress in Argentum. Stress can bring on gastritis. Good. Huh? After eating sweets, exam fear. Huh? Mango. Alcohol, very good. Yeah, very good. From where did alcohol come? Very good, good. There is a beautiful symptom in Argentum. See, I'm happy you spoke of alcohol. Why I said from where did alcohol come? I did not use or I did not mention alcohol under ailments. Though we did spoke of tobacco. So tobacco bringing in gastritis. Stress bringing in gastritis. Alcohol, very good. Okay. Sweets, ice cream, alcohol, anticipation, mental stress. These are few factors which can bring in gastric complaints in Argentum. Gastric complaints in Argentum. Okay. So, two things that is possible, which you already told me. And this information we got from speed of action and pathogenesis. So it causes inflammation and it causes ulceration. Now, if you know the symptoms of gastritis and ulceration, it will be more easy. From the knowledge of pathology, okay, from the knowledge of surgery, from the knowledge of medicine tomorrow, you'll know what happens when there is gastritis. Right? So in Argentum, you'll have burning, sour irritations, okay, pain, gastralgia, pain, gastralgia. There can be irritations, sour irritations. Yeah, I'll come to it in the next slide. Good. Sour irritations, pain. Then, what are the desires of Argentum? Very good. Sugar, salt, cheese, ice creams. Okay. So, cold. Okay. Let me skip this. Okay, fine. Anyway, it's coming. No problem. So, sugar, cheese, what is this? Sweets, salt, sweets, sugar, salt, cheese and ice creams. It's becoming like, what is that? Chinese whisper. And your friend rightly said, irritations which are very loud, explosive, there is belching accompanying most gastric complaints. Many gastric complaints in Argentum will be associated with belching, will be associated with irritations. Okay? Done? Okay? So, one 5-mark question that can come up for you in your exams will be gastric complaints of Argentum. It's actually a drug picture. You will be getting 10 marks question. If you are not lucky enough, you can have 2 5-mark questions. One mind and one gastric. Okay? So we'll Abdomen is also distended abdomen, burping, loud burping. Fine. So this is how what happens in the upper abdomen. Lower abdomen, diarrhea. Very good. And diarrhea, what did we decide in the last class? Very good. There are two types of diarrhea. One is nervous and the other one is gastric. So what is the nervous diarrhea in Argentum? What is the nervous diarrhea in Argentum? Any excitement or any anxiety or any anticipation, any emotional thing can bring in diarrhea. And the diarrhea will be watery. Good. The diarrhea will be watery. The second diarrhea is gastric. So gastric diarrhea, how is it? Greenish. We spoke this here in the last class, like chopped spinach. Good, like chopped spinach. Diarrhea, greenish mucus like chopped spinach in flakes. Okay? And they have to go to the loo very often. Diarrhea, under condition, eating and drinking. The moment they eat, the moment they drink, they have to rush to the washroom. Okay? And naturally with so much of dehydration, he looks prostrated. Irritable bowel syndrome. Out of interest, please go back home and refer this condition, IBS. Unfortunately, this condition is picking up very fast. Many software engineers or many people who are under constant stress, they have this issue, IBS, irritable bowel syndrome. If everything fits in, Argentum can be a very good remedy for IBS, irritable bowel syndrome. Okay? So, what did you understand in GIT? We started with throat, we spoke of stomach symptoms. In intestines, again you can see ulcers and basal diarrhea. Hope this part is clear. Anything you want me to repeat? Girls, boys, behind? No? Okay. So, we look at the last and very important aspect of Argentum, that is the nervous system. Nervous system, what you see is, you see mainly conversions. And conversions, we have already understood in the last class, what is the speciality of conversions in Argentum? Before conversions, the eyes will be, or the pupil will be dilated. 2 to 3 days before conversions. Good. One. Then, when do you see conversions in Argentum? Conversions which are more at night. Conversions during menses. Okay, I'll come to this way. Yeah, conversions during menses, night. Pupils are dilated, and after conversions, there is restlessness and trembling of the hand. Restlessness and trembling of the hand. Very important. And you saw other things, incoordination, ataxia, somebody was trying to tell us, conversions, incoordination, trembling of hands. They can't write because the hand is trembling. Trembling of hand. And what is this that you see here in Argentum? Huh? So there is something very peculiar and very important in Argentum. The paralysis is more of ascending. The paralysis is more of ascending. In your medicine, your teachers will talk of a syndrome called as GB syndrome. GB syndrome. So in GB syndrome, you will be seeing that there will be paralysis which starts in the leg, lower part, and slowly it goes up. There will be respiratory muscles going to paralysis, and then the person will die. GB syndrome, very important. Ascending paralysis. Is conium done? Conium is also a very important remedy for ascending paralysis. Now what do you see here? See, this is hemiplegia. Now what is hemiplegia? Left half, right half going into paralysis. You would have seen people, in our OPD, IPD, the other hand is fine. This they have issues. So, hemiplegia. Then there is something called as paraplegia. Paraplegia is lower arm. That is paraplegia. And then there is something called as quadriplegia. Quadri means four. Both hands, both legs. Paralysis. Right? Quadriplegia. This remedy, Argentum, is a beautiful remedy for paraplegia. I want you to understand the difference between hemiplegia, paraplegia and quadriplegia. That's the reason I have taken this image from Google. Right? So this is paraplegia. Paraplegia. Okay? Great weakness of lower extremities. With trembling. Cannot walk with eyes closed. Cannot walk with eyes closed. The moment he closes his eyes and is trying to walk, he feels giddy. Okay? Very important. Okay? Now the last part, I have purposely not told you respiratory. What do you have on the respiratory? Huh? Good?
Bronchitis.
Huh? What do you have on the respiratory? More than bronchitis. There was one symptom which was told. See, the problem is, you are listening to the class. When you listen to the class, you feel everything is so nice. And you are relaxed. You are not going back home and trying to revise. That is the problem. When I say one symptom on the respiratory, I thought there would be a explosion, like Argentum. His birth is explosive. I thought you'll all explode with the answer. Unfortunately, I am disappointed. What is that you have in Argentum? Okay, more than chest feeling compressed. Yeah, laryngitis. What do you understand by laryngitis in Argentum? Chronic laryngitis in singers. Very good. Continue. So when he is trying to
Go high.
when he is trying to go for higher pitch, he starts coughing. So this is respiratory. So respiratory means don't only look at lungs. Then don't only look at lungs. Okay. So that is the respiratory symptom. There can be asthma, there can be other things, but this is very important. It's affinity for cartilage, it's affinity for the larynx. Okay? These are all the modalities. Now before I start giving you the modalities, you have heard Argentum for so many classes, almost this is our third hour. What do you feel are the aggravating factors? Very good. Stress, anxiety, anticipation,
Cold weather.
cold weather, sugar, good, sugar, good, sugar, huh? Warm room, good, warm room,
Light.
huh? Aggravation, aggravation. Yeah, aggravation means what is increasing. Okay. During menses, you saw that. What is aggravating during menses? Good, convergence. So warmth, ice creams before and during menses, thinking intently, sugar lying on the right side, mental strain, all these things aggravates. What ameliorates? Argentum is a hot patient. Warmth aggravates, cold air, open air ameliorates, cold bath ameliorates, heart pressure. Where did you see this? Head, bang, tying, motion, irritations, bending double. These things ameliorates in Argentum. Ameliorates in Argentum. Okay? We'll have a quick recall. Headache in Argentum is better by heart pressure, bandaging. See, the other day we had a case of a girl. Young girl, must be 8 years, 9 years. She's having bad colicky pains. One of my assistants had taken the case, and one peculiar thing we observed in this girl is a simple pressure will not ameliorate. When she gets pain, I told you 8, 9 years old girl, and dad was explaining, sir, I have to use all my strength and I have to press. Right? So this pressure, I feel, he's a father naturally, he's very, he feels very sad, he feels that 9-year-old girl, she'll be very delicate. How can I press her so hard? Is the thought of the father. But the girl, when dad presses with the small thing, pressure, he says, no, Papa, please press it more hard. Then he has to literally use all his energy and he has to press. Then she feels better. Okay? Now, I don't know if the remedy is done to you or not. Remember one remedy. Tomorrow when you are getting into such kind of a situation, or when you are getting kids, children, colic pains better by heart pressure, one remedy is colocin. Good, colocin. And Clark, a great writer, who has contributed a lot to Materia Medica, he says the child will go to the corner of the furniture and the child will press hard against that surface, and she or he feels better. That is what Clark writes in this Materia Medica, and that is colocin.